Hey everybody, it is that time again. Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John! And we just went to the Derby and we're still very excited.
We did. We went to
about
the
it.
Kentucky Derby. We had the greatest time. I hope you've seen some of the pictures on Facebook. We've got more.
Wait. Got a drink. For good luck.
It's bad luck to be superstitious.
Kentucky bourbon. And
Holy
it's this
mackerel.
really beautiful bottle.
Did you really pour that much bourbon
Lily
in a
May.
glass?
There's water in it too and ice. Don't worry. It's like a highball. Anyway, Lily May.
Lily May, yes, this is a very special bourbon that we got at the Unbridled event.
Tyra swiped it off the table and gave it to
He
John.
did not
He
swipe
did
it
swipe
off
it.
the
There was only
table.
one bottle, you said, and he swiped it and gave it to you.
Tyrus did not. Don't tell anybody Tyrus swiped anything.
It's a joke.
But during this great evening, this great weekend, the night that we got this Lily May, and you know Lily also may not. It's up to Lily. We also
Unbridled Eve.
spent what?
Unbridled Eve, the event.
Unbridled Eve,
Our
but
host.
also one of the amazing performers at the show that night was Richie Sambora. And got to spend some time with Richie, not that night, but spend some time with Richie the next day because I've known him for a long, long time. And sometimes I forget who I know. But I want to tell you how amazing. Here's a picture. I sent you, Tony, a picture that's Richie on the end. You know, he looks like the consummate rocker, of course. Mm-hmm. But a couple of days before the Unbridled Eve event, I've already got one going.
Okay, great.
See that? It's a timer. He broke. I don't know if he broke his finger. I looked at it. It was pretty swollen. I think he broke maybe these two fingers, and still managed to do the show Unbridled Eve and rock out. You know, of course, all those high notes that you thought John Bon Jovi sang. Actually, Richie was the one singing. I can't do it, but want it. It's higher than that. That's Richie Sambora. It's not John Bon Jovi. I'm just saying. So we had a great time. Who else was there? Warren Moon. There's a picture of Warren Moon and I smoking cigars, as they say down here. Dee Dee doesn't like cigars. Isn't that funny?
So I stayed
And you don't
inside.
like garlic either, right?
No, really. I like onions. I like garlic. I can deal with garlic, but I don't love it. And cigars, I hate. No smoking. I don't like any smoking at all. It's gross.
I think that's just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Nice.
well, Paul was famous for a lot of things, but two of them were cigars and garlic.
But he didn't smoke cigars.
It'd be like if you didn't like cars.
Now, he ate a lot of garlic, but when we were together, but he did not smoke cigars at all. He had quit. So
He
there
only
you go.
smoked them in the movies?
He only smoked them before me. He smoked a lot before me, but after
And I smoke at the Kentucky Derby, and occasionally on a golf course I will smoke a cigarette. Well, a cigarette, no, a cigar.
Ew, gross.
Blech, I got a bad
And
taste in
then
my mouth
no-
just saying that.
ew.
The
And
only
then
time I ever
no-
smoked cigarettes was on Grand Hotel, and those were clove
Clove.
cigarettes. Those weren't real cigarettes.
And then there are no smooches until there's gum or something. It's icky.
What am I, gum or something?
But we had so much fun. Thank you, Tanya and Tammy, our host, Unbridled Eve. And that event was great. You know, it was lovely red carpet.
Well, that was the oak.
Ellie-
The race that day was the Oaks.
That's right.
Right, and that's the fillies. We had a great time. And let's see, that's when Warren and I were. So that's the pictures from Warren and I smoking whatever I have on. What did you wear that day? It was great.
The Oaks, all pink, all the pink
All
stuff.
pink. That's right. I had my pink
So
shirt. You
it
had
just
your
all
pink.
worked out. The pictures were so nice because, you know, pink is great and fun. I've got a little pink on today. And we, you know, our timeline, we're shooting a movie.
There, now I have pink.
We're shooting a movie in the Lexington area, so we had to drive from Lexington. We got into Louisville maybe 8 or 9, something like that.
Something like that. Yep.
Then we had the Oaks the next day. Then we did Unbridled Eve, a wonderful gala, and then we went to the Derby. So it's like a whirlwind after you get there.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, once you get there, it's crazy. But,
It's like nonstop and wonderful, like every minute. Everybody was great.
Yep.
And it was nice
Yep.
you were able to reunite with Tyrus.
That was so great. Here's a picture of Tyrus and I, of course, my nemesis from Stand On It. Great guy.
And his lovely wife,
He and his
Ingrid.
lovely wife Ingrid were there. I don't have a picture of Ingrid, But that's a picture of Tyrus and I. He looking sharp. He's so funny. He said, you know, if I don't have a baseball cap on backwards, nobody knows it's me. How can that be? He's like 6'8", and he's
Super
lost quite a bit
nice,
of weight.
super
Oh,
smart.
He looks great. He looks actually great.
He
really,
does.
really great.
But it's a whole thing because you have to pack to, you know, even the guys, usually the guys can throw on like a button down and a shirt or just a suit, but not a derby. The guy and the gal have to dress to the nines. And John did. John looked great. This was his derby hat, actually.
That's right. And it's a hat I wear in the movie. Here's a picture of me wearing this hat in the movie, too, which is great. And can't tell you where we're filming, but
It is a horse farm,
there's a couple of views of it. This one is out the front window of my birthday present, the Raptor. This other one is a picture from inside the barn where we were filming yesterday. And it's amazing how when you take a beautiful sky, but then you kind of box it in with a doorway, it makes it even more dramatic. So that's great. This movie is going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's called Win, Place, or Love, right?
See, I thought it was Win, Place, Love. I don't
Win,
know,
Place,
but
Love.
close enough. Either
Well,
way
but when you
works.
bet, it's Win, Place, or Show. So I don't know. Maybe it is Win, Place, Love.
But both sound great. And it's going to be a beautiful movie. You know, you're able to revisit with Charlene Tilton. That's great.
That's right. Here, look. Here's Charlene, and she is wearing 4-inch heels
She's itty bitty.
in this picture. But what a force of nature. Oh my gosh. She's itty bitty, but I wouldn't tangle with her. Nope.
And then at the end of Cinco de Mayo, we went to the Mexican restaurant and did a silly vote for summer. But I did vote for summer, and it's really vote for summer, so I kind of messed that up. And I love the movie, and John's like,
You said
I
vote
didn't
for
get
summer.
it. I said vote for summer. You
Yeah.
said vote for Pedro.
Oh,
But I did the peace sign, but it was really this, because I looked it up again, and I'm like, this, whatever, I can barely even do that.
like
yeah.
hang loose.
Vote for summer.
Brah.
And I
Oh,
did
she did
that.
that?
Yeah. But I was doing that, sorry. However, I like that movie. I love it. I think it's hilarious. I want to ask John to watch it again.
I'll
because
watch it because
I don't think he got it.
I had Dee Dee watch Tres Leches.
I did.
She did. She watched Tres Leches, and she laughed a little bit.
I did.
I laughed a lot. I think it's
The
hysterical.
Red Power Ranger was really funny.
Oh gosh. He's fantastic.
Go, Power
Austin St. John.
Ranger.
Austin St. John is fantastic as the slighted husband searching for his wife throughout the wilds of Louisiana. Actually, it's a story about three guys getting hired to drive a Oldsmobile from Baton Rouge to the Philippines for 50 cents a mile, and they think they can do it. So that's kind of
So that tells you already.
three losers that are
Really dumb.
I think it's hysterical, but that's just me. The language is awful. The subject matter is awful. And there's warnings all over it. If you go to Cineflix,
Go for
DOD,
Win, Place, Love.
yes,
They're not going to have that language. It's going to
they're
be
not going to
great.
have that language or that subject matter. Yeah, or you can watch Jingle Smells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jingle Smells is great, or Christmas Cars, or Stand on It, or Poker Run. You
We're
won't
going to
get,
have a big John Schneider summer movie nights in Hazard.
summer.
Vote for summer. See, I still can't do it right.
So we're
I'll
going to
it
do
right.
a summer movie nights, John Schneider movie nights in Hazard.
in Hazard. With,
Okay.
With the movies that do not like drop really bad words. Okay, there will be the cleaner movies, and then the Christmas movies. And John's got quite a few of those.
I do.
I think we'll just do two.
We're going to try to get a hold of
Willow
a couple
Creek
other ones. Well, Willow Creek would
and
be
Reba
great.
McEntire to tune in.
Oh, it's Christmas in Tune.
Christmas in Tune. And then what was funny is we have a dear friend in LA, and she's a big music lawyer. And she always lets us know how John's trending. And the other day, John was trending #1 worldwide for Christmas songs.
Oh, that's right. You showed me that. But it was Christmas. It was actually the soundtrack to Christmas Cars.
Well, there you
Right?
go.
Isn't that what you showed me?
Yeah.
So the soundtrack, there's
You
a...
were #1 globally.
You're number one. There's a soundtrack album. You get it at johnschneider.shop. We'll put a link in.
Mm-hmm.
But there are two great albums or CDs or whatever in the world you want to call them that are they're soundtracks to Christmas Cars, and then there's also a soundtrack to Stand on It. And
Stand on
When
it.
I was a yeah, when I was a kid, I had the soundtrack album to Jungle Book, and it incorporates a bunch of the music, but also the story. So when you listen to the whole thing, you get some of the story and all of the music, and it's so it's like you're driving down the road and you'll be able to watch Christmas Cars or stand on it in your head. Well, that's the album that was trending #1 somewhere else. Globally.
Everywhere.
So that's pretty great. And that was the Christmas Cars. I love Christmas Cars. I thought it was really fantastic.
Well, in Hazard, we should do Christmas Cars, and what's the other one? Jingle Smells.
Jingle Smells. I'm not in Jingle Smells a whole lot. It's hard to call Jingle Smells a John Schneider movie. It's an also John Schneider
Yeah,
movie.
but it can mean John Schneider Presents.
Could be that.
Yeah.
Could be that.
We'll make it work.
Okay.
You know, in Hazard, I think they're going to be fine with whatever you do there. Pretty sure.
Love Hazard. Been so great. We met 3 at a beautiful restaurant in downtown Paris, Kentucky, called Trackside
Depot.
And there were actually 3 lovely young ladies who
All
worked
from
there
Hazard.
from Hazard, and one was born in Erie, where she was hatched.
And of
Where-
course,
where
it
you-
had to be the same place was one. So yeah, so that's pretty
That's right.
cool.
Had to be. They had to be born at the, not the Huddle House. What is it?
Oh my God, I can't believe you said the
I
Huddle
did that on
House.
purpose.
It's like our Frisch's or something.
Waffle House.
No, Home Place Clinic.
Oh,
But
Home
it's not
Place.
there anymore, unfortunately. But it worked out okay at the time. Thank goodness. But yeah, again, raised a ton of money for the flood victims. They are still thanking John. They're still thanking us every day. We get messages saying thank you for what you did. Now we're going to go back and film the Earl's Perry.
Right.
And we're going to do that this summer. The
Oh,
pilot.
we're getting closer.
The
We're
pilot.
getting
We're getting
closer.
closer. We're going to
We've
send
got cars being delivered to
up there.
our friend up there who has some room at the local airport. So we've got cars being delivered there, which you know, in my world, you're not really doing anything unless you've bought a car. So we've got. Oh, I got to get to Kevin. Kevin, if you're watching this, we need to get that.
Something. A car.
No, it's a Challenger, but what do we call it? It's got a shaker hood. I'm not sure what's underneath the hood, but it's a shaker hood. I don't know if it's got a scat pack or not. I hope so. But anyway, we need to get that car to its holding area in Hazard, Kentucky, and then, folks, in Hazard, we need to get 3 cars painted. Okay, so wrap your minds around that. And also, folks, in Hazard, we need to get some roll cages made. How about that? And one other thing, we'd heard rumor that a couple of the police cars, like 4 or 5 police cars, were flooded because a police station is right there on the curve in between Long John Silver's and Francis's. Francis's?
I don't know.
Anyway, right
But
between there,
But it's Miss Frances that owns it.
across from the firehouse, there were 4 or 5 cars there. A couple of, they weren't. No, they were Chargers and a Tahoe or 2 that we need to talk to you about. Because if they were flooded and you don't know what to do with them, I know what to do with them. We'll jump them into the pond.
Yeah, because of course, in the Dukes of Hazzard way, a lot of cars get crashed and junked and run into and whatever. Jumped. So yeah.
Jumped? Yeah.
So before that, though, finishing up this week, John's going to film like the last day, maybe Friday or Saturday.
Right, it's supposed to be Friday, but we'll see. We've had a
We
lot of rain.
kind of think
Had a lot
it
of rain
might be
here.
another day. It's so beautiful here. I mean, I've been to Ireland for a month. It's as pretty, if not prettier, than Ireland. So the rain has made it gorgeous for filming.
Yep.
But it's also made it a little bit difficult, so maybe an extra day. So we're supposed to wrap Friday. It could happen Saturday. And then I've got a
Well,
comedy
then you've
show.
got a comedy show at the golf course, right?
At Friday night. So
The
John,
country club.
John could be rapping.
She's
Woodford.
at the country club.
The Woodford Club. That's the way it goes. So you may be rapping while I'm on stage, or you may be able to join in. Michael Gilkison and not Richard Pryor, but Mason Pryor, which is Richard Pryor's son. He looks exactly like them, and I'm sure he's
Mason?
very funny. Mason Pryor.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, so it'll be a great show. It's the Country Boys, and I'm not a boy clearly, but they let me come. They let me come there. They let me be there to be part of the show.
Are you going to close it down?
Yeah, of course.
She's
It'll be fun.
very funny.
It'll be fun. We'll
She
have a good
turns
time.
into another being when she does the comedy stuff.
I'm not another being. It's just,
Yeah, no, you're not even human. You turn into something else.
That's not true.
She's like,
I'm not an alien. No, I just have fun.
Kicking and yeah, but it's like it just shows up. You know, a lot of people, you know, their fun shows up in laughter. Yours shows up in like uncontrollable body
Yeah, like
movements.
you know what? It's you're saying I've got Tourette's or Bell's palsy, and I don't.
Bells.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said balls.
I did. Bell's palsy. I think it sounds funnier. That's sort of part of my humor.
See what I mean?
So I had Bell's palsy. It's funny. But I guess if you have Bell's palsy, you would not think it was funny. But you know, humor is like that. Humor, everybody kind of gets it. Everybody gets insulted a little. But you have to realize what it is. It's comedy. It's not going to be funny if everybody's just singing Kumbaya and like, oh, I love your vanilla colored outfit, eating a vanilla ice cream cone. And
That's
it's
so
not funny.
vanilla.
That's my point.
It's not funny.
Doesn't work. It's not funny.
That's my point.
That's a good point. So we're
Okay.
doing that Friday, and then Saturday I'm doing a scene in a movie. So that'll work. That'll be great. And
Oh, that's
I'll
right,
have
with
to be in the
Michael.
area. Yeah,
What's the movie?
I don't remember. I just know my character's funny.
And
So, I'm a funny
with
lawyer.
uncontrollable movements.
No,
She's.
I do not have
Did you
Bell's
snort?
palsy. No, I didn't snort. You snorted. Is that what you did, or did you do something else?
No,
Maybe you did another noise, and
Funny.
you're just trying to cover it up.
no.
I think you did. I didn't do anything. I did nothing. I won't admit it, but I heard a noise,
Boy, this is.
and you heard a noise. So
I'm
what was it?
changing the subject.
Where did
It was me snorting.
Anyway, we're having such a good time.
You know, now the beard is longer, fewer people are giving me crap about it. You know, now it's like, oh, well, that's a beard. Well, what the hell was it before?
I don't know.
Just
I
face
don't get the
stubble?
goatee thing. Like when it's like where those little mustaches, they're just like a string, and then they have like a thing like
Nobody's
it's a
done
cartoon
that in
character.
70 years.
No, they still do it. I've seen it. And here and there, you see the mustache that curls up like that, and on the end it's like wet, like they have to twist it
They
with
have
the bobby pin.
No, they put mustache wax on it.
Ew.
That's this. That's a very certain kind
Gross.
of a certain kind. I could almost.
There's a
do it.
mustache wax.
Yes, I could
Ew.
almost do it.
But why would someone do that? I get, well,
Because it's a style.
It's kind of comical.
It's not comical. It's
I don't know
it's
if I've seen it in
stylish.
person. I've
You saw a
seen
lot
it.
of that at the Derby. No, there was a bunch
There
of it
were
at the
some
Derby.
curled.
Oh yeah.
with
No,
the
I don't have
wax.
any pictures of that, but yeah, there were quite a few people. That's a
You
big
saw
Derby
everything.
thing.
You saw everything at the Derby. Everything. There was no being vanilla there,
We saw the Mutters. We saw some Fodders.
and we did win. By the way,
She didn't even respond to
sovereignty. Hello, Mother.
that. Hello, Fodder.
Hello, Father.
Here I am at
Camp
Camp
Granada.
So we had a great time at the Derby, and we did win, it is true. And then this one made sure that we got a bottle of wine that took care of that right after, immediately after. We went to that great restaurant that's
Swizzle.
a spinning, what?
Swizzle.
Swizzle.
It's awesome. Everybody should go if you go to Louisville. It's at the Galt House.
The Galt
and
House,
at the
yeah.
top. And you know those circular restaurants, probably most of you have been, but not to this one because this one goes fast. I mean,
It does go pretty fast.
You can see.
Well, they
Yeah,
ask you, do
no,
you
they-
have motion sickness before you get on, before they seat you? So yeah, but it was great. We had
And
a
I
great-
love rides, so it was fun for me. I loved it. And the wine was amazing. It was called Timeless.
It was timeless, all right.
It was. I asked for silver.
Priceless, it should have been called.
Yeah, I asked, what was a special occasion? It was money that we won.
And we couldn't hold on to it.
Well,
Needed to
for
get rid of that.
Maybe about an hour and a half. It was a special occasion, and we're having a wonderful time. And
We also had
our
a wonderful
hosts were
time
great.
at this picture of us right here is at the Angels Envy Distillery.
Oh, that was fun.
And see there, Tony, that's the one with all the, it looks like we won a race or something.
Uh-huh.
So that was great. We had a wonderful time there. We didn't see Wes this time.
Well, Wes sold it. So here's the thing about Wes Henderson. Our friend, he sold Angel's Envy. And
Right.
he bought the Kentucky Castle.
He owns the Kentucky, where we had dinner.
the
I
first
think we
time,
talked
our
about
first
that
dinner.
last week.
We did,
Yeah.
but it's so good. You all should check it out because it really is this huge castle. It is unbelievable.
That's why they call it
The
The
Kentucky Castle. But he bought it for like 150.
It's in Versailles. You know, to tell anybody what they paid for that castle.
Everyone knows it's online.
Nobody knows.
Everybody knows.
Nobody cares.
Okay, but I want you to see how big it is and understand how big it is. $150 million. Now, in LA, it will get you
Wes, I'm sorry.
a 2-car garage. But in Kentucky...
That is so not true. What an exaggeration.
In Kentucky, it gets you a castle. I mean, I think it's good to brag on him.
$150 million gets you quite a bit anywhere you go.
Yeah, but you get a castle
You
in
could
Kentucky.
get a lot of bottles of that wine we spent our winnings on.
And then he didn't stop there, and then now Wes has True Story.
True Story,
bourbon.
which I had
I
had an old fashioned made with True Story bourbon. It was wonderful. So I don't know if that's out yet to the public, but it is there at the Kentucky Castle because Wes owns the
I think it's
castle.
selective now, but it's out there.
It was really good. It's got quite a. Did you taste it all by itself?
You know what? I did. I just had the Angel's Envy.
There's some
but I would
vanilla.
like to.
There's a vanilla to it, which is really
Like Woodford?
great. This is great. This Lily May is really great. Now it could be that this was like a commemorative bottle that was supposed to be hermetically sealed for 50 years, but we're drinking it.
And it's really
So,
good.
next week or 2 weeks from now, somebody's going to say, oh, whoever got those, those are $100,000 bottles of whiskey, of bourbon. Well,
Well, we enjoyed it.
We did.
And what's wonderful about Kentucky, and a lot of restaurants and other places, but in Kentucky, you're always going to get a good bourbon selection. And I mean a good one, a big one.
Well, yeah.
But in other places, sometimes you only have a couple, and they're like,
Like in Chatsworth, you're always going to get an interesting movie selection. Nobody knows what I'm talking
Chatsworth, California.
California, yeah.
Isn't that like the
No, I don't
ghetto? In the ghetto?
No. At the depot. We need to talk about
That
something
was an
that is
Alpha
current.
song. I know, but this
I
is
know,
current.
written by Mac Davis.
In the ghetto.
Written
But
by Mac
also,
Davis.
Kentucky Rain, when you sing a line of that, because I
In the
love-
cold Kentucky rain. Woo-hoo.
That's not a line. That's
That's
a
a
few
line.
words. Can you
That's,
do one more
that's
line?
all I know.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess.
Rain in my shoes. I know that. That's it.
But a lot of folks are talking
I
about.
can't sing unless I'm
you
on
should
stage
sing
or in the
Ken-
studio. It's the weirdest thing. I hear people singing all the time. Like, she sings great. She's just singing.
I goof
People
off,
are wandering
but-
around and they sing. If I just try to, can't do it. But put me in front of a microphone, I can sing my hat off. By the way,
really great singer.
we did bet a little money on Toby Keith's horse because
We
that
did.
was a dream of
We
his.
did.
The horse did not win, but we are delighted to say that sovereignty wins out over journalism. Because I bet nothing against the horse journalism or its owners, but it just might have been the fake news. So anyway, sovereignty, which means a protected
Sovereign nation.
border and a sovereign nation with borders that actually work, won out over MSNBS and all those other people. So there we go.
So that was awesome. So yeah, we
And
won.
President Donald Trump was supposed to be there that day, but it rained. It was really a rainy kind of yucky day. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't want to fly. What would they fly? How far? Would they fly Air Force One, that little bitty? Or would
That's
they
Marine
take the
One.
helicopter?
Well, no, Marine One is a helicopter.
I know. Would they take Marine One from D.C.?
I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
but the Air Force One
I
would
can
land.
never decide whether to take the jet or the helicopter either.
Air Force One would absolutely fly to Louisville and land somewhere at the
Well, by the time it got up, it'd have to
municipal
come down.
airport, private airport, or whatever. I mean, and then they could helicopter, but they would probably take a motorcade
With the beast.
with the Beast.
I eat ice cubes. It might
John
not be the
loves
greatest
ice.
thing to do. I do.
You could be the Iceman.
Aw, Val.
Val Kilmer.
Val what?
Kilmer.
Yeah, you said Kimmler. That's okay.
No, it's not. Val Kilmer. I'm so sorry.
We had a wonderful.
And I met him. He was very nice.
We
I
had
gotta
a
get his
wonderful
name right.
stunt gal who doubled Miss Daisy Duke, Miss Catherine Bach, on Dukes. Her name was Kay Kimmler. So, so I'm going to go do a concert in Somerset, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
The night before.
Car show.
There's going to be a car show. I can't wait. The car show. Are we going to be able to do the car show?
We are doing it.
Okay, so doing the concert the night before and then doing the car show. Check out my app. My app is back up and running. So go to the the App Store and get the app. It's called John Schneider. It'll work on your iPhone. It'll work on your Android. It'll work on your desktop. It'll work, with 2 cans and a string. It will work, and it'll tell you exactly where we're going to be and when we're going to be there. It is truly a stalker's best friend.
And it's good to check it every day because things do
Come on,
change.
that was funny.
Oh, stalkers. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious because we have to deal with those people here and there.
Well,
Part of being famous, right?
That's true. There's a lot of parts of being famous I was not
And that's part of it.
really prepared for. Excuse me. My goodness. What is that?
It could be lunch. And by the way, we had a wonderful lunch. But before that, I'm going to go back to the depot. And they had tomato aspic. And I did not know what that was. And then John looked at an old picture of it. And he said it was like a tomato and jello roll.
It's a tomato gelatin that my grandmother used to make in a little, not a big bundt cake tin, but they would make them in little, like that big. So you'd have this like jiggly red salad.
Which sounds horrible.
It sounds awful, but it's amazing. With cottage cheese on the top. And oh my gosh.
So they mentioned it.
Was so, and
I was like, what is that?
They served it in like an old-fashioned glass.
Like a little, yeah.
Yeah, like a short glass. It was like, well, so, but when Dee Dee looked it up online, it was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. My grandmother used to make this. And it was quite the rage when Jell-O, Jello, that's old-time radio. When Jell-O was the rage, and it still is. I still love me some Jell-O. And pudding, by the way. Tapioca. Mm-hmm. But when they discovered that they could make this salad with it with, I don't know how they put the tomato juice in there.
But when I mentioned
it sounds
it's like, well, let's try it.
Well, what she said was great. She said, I'm either going to love this or hate this. There's going to be no in between.
There's no in between. And I kind of thought I wasn't going to like it, but I loved
scared
it.
Of it. Oh, it was
John
great.
loved it too.
It just has a very unfortunate name.
At the depot in Paris,
At
Kentucky.
the depot.
It's so good. And apparently
A
some
beautiful
folks
restored
will come
building.
In. Oh, yeah. And where Theodore Roosevelt did like a whistle stop tour, and I was part of it. And they used to like bring the folks in, the horse farm owners and that sort of thing. So it's quite a history and it's beautiful. It has the not the mirrors, but the windows in the back so you can see the train come by.
Yep.
It's amazing. And the food's great.
Oh my gosh, the ribeye. Oh, I think we took pictures
And
of
the
it last
tomato
week.
aspic. We
That's
definitely
right.
took a picture of that.
Picture of that. So here's a picture of that. Tony, I'll send it to you. And then here's a picture of the other night when you were I think getting clothes for the Derby. Mm-hmm. I was there with our friend
right.
Brent, and I had the baked potatoes stuffed with creamed spinach and cheddar cheese. Oh my God!
And they also
So
have hot
great.
brown, and they have chicken livers. So.
Because the chickens ain't using them no more. Because I had the fried chicken.
And they have fried chicken too. So
oh my God,
a
the fried
nice
chicken is
menu.
great.
And the owner came out. She was so sweet. And then of course the 3 Hazard
Very
gals.
sweet. The Hazard gals.
And there were people there that worked there, and they were drinking. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And they're like, no, they're off the clock.
Yeah, you
But
gotta
still,
you gotta careful
I
what you
did.
say, girl.
I'm just telling the truth. What's wrong with
No,
that?
we're telling the truth. They weren't drinking while they were working.
I just
You
said
just said there were
that.
people there working and they were drinking. No, they
And
weren't.
I added that they have to be off the clock, but I thought a lot of other places they would not allow that. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it was fun, and,
People
and
might
they were
just
all
take
sweet.
that little sound clip, that little bite, and say people were there and they were drinking. Cut.
Not when they were working. Now
It'd be
I
like
think,
they're good people on both sides.
and I think that they would do just as fine of a job if they weren't drinking. That's luxury.
You just said it again. So they were drinking, and they would do just as fine of a job if they weren't
That's
drinking.
my opinion. I'm not. It's a free country.
But they weren't drinking.
It's First Amendment rights. I mean, and let's go to that. The flag on the Dukes of Hazzard car. There's a lot of discussion about that. There always has been. But John and I were just talking about it again. I just think it's a First Amendment right. If you don't like it, don't look at it.
Don't watch it.
If it offends you, don't watch it. However, other people feel like it's Southern tradition, and Southern heritage, and they love it, so they can watch it. So boo-hoo.
It's not even the Confederate
It's
flag.
not racist. Boo-hoo. If you don't like it, if you think it is, don't watch. That is your right as an American. So for me, and I look at also, because we went even further, that the American flag, it is horrible when people burn the American flag. They should be punched. I mean, they should
I think so.
They should be yelled at. They should be,
It's a
banned.
slap in the face to all those who have given their lives and limbs and family
It's
members
horrible.
to protect it.
But I have to say, as much as I hate to say this, it kills me to say this, I believe in the right to be able to do it, because I think freedom of speech is really important, and it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, but that's not speech. That's an action.
Well, I agree. I think of it as a living, if you're really patriotic, you think of it as a living thing, and you don't let it hit the ground, whatever. So that's really tough for me.
How many times you see me pick flags up?
All the time.
All the time.
And we unfurl them, if they're all wrapped up.
If I can
we fix
reach
them
it
or
and I can
whatever.
unfurl the flag because it's gotten, the wind has blown it in a circle.
And of course,
I will
John's
do that.
movie, To Die For, is all about that, being able to. But that's freedom of speech too. Everyone should be able to put a flag on their car if they want to.
Right. Well, I say in that I was willing to sacrifice my life for your right. Oh God, to hate the flag. I think. What is?
Yeah,
what
I
is
know.
it?
But if you hate
What
the
is?
flag,
What are you willing to do for my right not to?
Well, it should go. But that's my point. It should go both ways. I hate it.
Well,
In
it's
fact,
going both ways again now, thank God. But it didn't go both ways
and I
for
think
a while.
it should go both ways with the rebel flag. Because in the program, in the TV show, it's like they're rebels. They're going against the law. They're going against the man. Beats all you ever saw. So if people don't like it, don't freaking watch it, because that's your right as an American to not watch it. But other people want to. So boo-hoo if you
That's
don't like
right.
it. Watch something else.
Somebody call the ambulance. Wah.
Yeah.
Wah.
But to just ban it, I mean, shame on Warner Brothers
That
for
was
that.
Obama. That was Obama.
Well, Warner Brothers did it.
Well, but they bowed to the
They're being
they
babies. They're
bowed
like,
to the
"Oh,
king.
you can't
Well,
like
they're
Warner
chicken
Brothers,
shit.
can't
They're
like the
just
flag."
chicken shit.
People are offended. Well, guess what?
But that was a
People are
long
offended
time
all
ago.
over
I don't
the
even
place.
know who's running Warner Brothers anymore. I don't know if there is a Warner Brothers anymore.
There is, because when we do the podcast in LA, we see it out the window by the smokehouse.
Well, we see the building. I mean, they didn't tear it down, but Gavin Newsom has done everything he can to chase filmmaking and television making and all sorts of creativity out of the state of California.
But he's gotten such
It's
a
a
bad
miracle
time
that
about
we
it.
can actually. Well, he ought to.
I agree, but now they're trying to bring it back. But it's not him. It's
There's
others.
the freedom
It's
of my
the
speech.
freedom
Gavin
industry.
Newsom, you are a detriment to one of the greatest states in our country.
Freedom of speech.
You're
You can
doing
say that.
everything you can to destroy it and to chase people out. You are the biggest favor to Austin and to Denver and to Atlanta
Everywhere.
and everywhere else because people are leaving your state
We
because
both left.
you are an idiot.
John and I both left. I mean, a lot of people, we were
I didn't,
just-
he wasn't, I mean, I'm sure he was an idiot, but he wasn't the
yeah,
governor
but it
at
was
that point.
liberal, crazy stuff. It's not right. And we like to have our freedom.
I'm liberal too. I'm liberal in lots of things, but this whole liberal conservative thing, I'm very conservative in many regards. I'm very liberal in many regards, right? So I think it's just, I don't know what, I don't think protecting people who rape and murder and rob folks in my neighborhood is a liberal notion. I just think it's
I do.
stupid. I think it's stupid.
Well, the
I think
liberals
it's
are the ones
insensitive.
that, not all liberals, but it's the liberals that are ones that push that. You don't see conservatives wanting that.
Well, but see,
Give me one.
this is that slippery slope. These are the people, what they're trying to say is that these people deserve due process even though they're not citizens. So probably that's true if these people had not refused to give due process to the January 6ers
Well, I
or
disagree with
to the
that.
man who was our president, who became our president again. They refused to
I don't
give
agree with
him
that.
due process.
If
which,
you're not American, you do not have
No,
the
I
same
don't agree-
rights.
I don't agree with it
You
either.
do not have the same rights. You don't have any rights.
No,
Why?
you're an interloper.
You don't have any rights.
You're not here. You're not a foreigner here on vacation. That's an entirely different thing. You're someone who came in illegally, although the Biden administration said, come on. Now, here's my issue with that. The Biden administration said to millions of people, and I've heard 10, I've heard 22, I've heard 16, I don't know how many, but 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 is too many as far as I'm concerned. Come in the proper way. But they went like this. What are you doing? Am I boring you?
No, it's the Jamie Brittany wedding stuff.
Oh, great. Okay. We don't need that right now.
I know, but I had to check because they
You don't have to check. Give me that. Oh, so stop. Yeah.
No.
So.
You have to do Jim West. Tell them about Jim West.
No, I'm talking about something here. It's important. So low battery. Great.
Woo-woo.
So when, goodness gracious, let me close that little thing. Because you know what it uses to tell you have low battery? Shush. It uses battery. So what they did to millions of people from everywhere in the world, and lots of them, as President Trump said, a lot of these folks, not all, and no one has ever said all of these were bad people, but many of them were and are bad people. But they're bad hombre. But they went like this and let them in, and then gave them money and transportation and cell phones and a dental plan and all kinds of stuff, right? So what did we do? We're saying, look, they can't come in. What did the Republicans say? They can't come in that way. It's got to be legal. They have to be processed the proper way. They have to be given, and I know this is a stretch, they have to go through the due process in order to become a citizen of the United States so that they can be awarded or afforded these gifts of a dental plan and of the right to work and all of that. What did they do to the January 6 people? They said, come in. We've all seen the video of the Capitol Guards lifting up the barricades and moving them out of the way. We've all seen them saying, come this way. We've all seen them, at the very least, do nothing when the people were coming into the Capitol. That's entrapment. So what they did, we didn't invite 16 million people from El Salvador and other parts unknown to come into our country so that we could unlawfully detain them. We brought them in so that we could treat them all like they just won. Let's make a deal. But on January 6th, these are insurrectionists. These are terrible people. What in the ever-loving is the difference? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris,
well, they
Shifty
lost.
Shift. I know they lost, but they're still fighting for this nonsense.
Yeah,
now they're fighting to keep people in here who are going to kill somebody's daughter, somebody's son, somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's grandma, somebody's grandpa, and those people need to get the hell out of here or suffer the consequences of coming in illegally. That's all I got to say. Let's talk about puppy dogs and fluffy clouds.
I doubt that's all you've got to say, but well said. Cheers to that.
Oh, pisses me off.
No, really?
I don't like it when people think they're entitled to something they didn't work for at all. I don't like it when people try to have things both ways. If you're an illegal alien in our country or a displaced migrant or whatever the hell they start to call them, you do not deserve a dental plan. You do not deserve what actual citizens of the United States deserve any more than I would deserve in Paris or Rome or El Salvador or Tokyo. I'm a visitor.
Well, if we're a visitor,
I don't get free
in
stuff.
Mexico, Bulgaria, or another country, we're going to jail.
I did a movie in Bulgaria, and
we're going to jail, man. I mean, you can't. They don't do it in other countries. They don't let people to get away with it anywhere else. So why should we? Remember the dude that took the wrong turn in Mexico?
Well,
he was in Mexico, didn't even know, and he ended up in jail forever. And all he did was take a wrong turn.
Well, I've said this before. They were counting on all of these people. Actually, a lot of times they filled out their election ballot for them. That was part of the scam. But I think they were counting on these people. Here's how stupid. They were counting on them voting for them because they were brought into the country and they were going to give them free stuff.
Well, of course.
Right. But guess what? Somebody who walked 2,000 miles just to get to the border and paid everything they had so that they could come over here, did it because they believe that America, the United States of America, is the land of opportunity.
And it is still.
And it is, which means they came over here so that they could work their asses off and provide for their families elsewhere and then pay for them to come in here. They didn't come here for a free lunch. Somebody who walks
Some did,
2,000,
some did.
well, some did, yeah, but they were counting on all of them. We give you free stuff, you're going to do what we say.
Not all
no,
of them, not
these
all of them.
people, they just walk 2,000 miles. They're not afraid of a hard day's work for an honest day's pay.
And they're alive.
So they have so misjudged not all, many of those people. Like I just read something. This might get me in trouble. I don't know, but I just read something that one of the worst things that happened, and this was written by a black journalist to the African American culture, was affirmative action.
Oh, I agree.
I agree too. Yeah. So something that looks like it's trying to give. My God, it's so insulting. We're going to give you something because you can't earn it on your own. What a crock of nonsense that is.
You know, I'm not black, but I'm a woman. And anyone's like, we're going to give you a break because you're a woman. And I'm like, no, thanks. It should be a meritocracy. If I get something, one, because I deserve it, not because, you know, I have different body parts than you do. That's bull.
Yep. They do that all the time. And opportunity is for those who are willing to do the work to seize it with both hands. And we live in the greatest country in the world. Why? Because if we want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a fireman, whatever it is we want to be, a college professor, we have the opportunity to go for it. I went for it. I went for it from the time I was 8 years old. I'm still going for it. I don't want somebody to give me something. I want to work for it. What's wrong with that? That, I think, it really is the American way.
You can't have
You can't have opportunity without people willing to work for it. What's the point?
Making his way the only way they know how.
I wrote a new song. I wrote a new song last week. Ain't nowhere no one like him, Jackson Stonewall Earl. Jackson Stonewall Earl, he beats all you never saw. Mountain didn't get him, neither did the law. They say he got his lead foot from his paw. Ain't nowhere no one like him, Jackson Stonewall Earl.
Nice.
Great. It's the first time I've had an opportunity to sing a song about myself.
We're going to be singing a lot of songs soon, and I feel bad.
Can you say anything yet? You're such
Next
a tease. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll give you more information.
Well, there's a reason.
Of course there's a reason.
Our artistic expert
You talk. I'm going to try to plug this
is
thing in.
late. And that's
Is what?
okay. Well, it was Derby week. Our artistic, and it's not a joke, our artistic guy got flooded out because they live along the Ohio River. Everybody got flooded, and then Derby came. So you have a flood, you have Derby. It's tough to get everything done. So I was promised it would be done today. So there is a possibility that it could be added to the program, but probably not. That's okay.
Big news is the app is working.
The app is working. And also, we added all but one, all but the Chicago Comic-Con. So if you all want to come and visit and see John, it doesn't reach,
Wouldn't you know it?
like, by that much.
Is there a plug over there?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Here.
It's going to work.
You plug that
It's
in.
going to work.
Jackson Stonewall Earl, he beats all you never saw. Mountain
Hotel
didn't
living.
get him, neither did
There we
the
go.
law. There we go. We have no danger.
Hotel living.
The sad news is there's no chance of us stopping this early.
Why would you want to? Don't be a negative.
I mean for them.
I know what you mean. They don't like. Let me tell you something. Our friends and fans are awesome. They listen to everything we say. They love it. They're sweet. They're supportive. You are being a negative Ned.
Being a what? A negative
Yeah,
Ned?
like, oh, you all, you have to listen to more. They want to. I mean, they're so supportive and wonderful, and they always give suggestions.
Go ahead, talk to everybody.
Okay, I will. And I'm going to give the 30-second PSA that we're starting to do every week.
I'm timing you.
Now, the scammers are saying if you give money, you can have part of John's business. Scam.
What?
Yeah, you didn't even know that. Scam. Central. You get this much of a percentage of the Schneider empire, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, no.
Yes. And they say if you contribute, you will own part of it. Now,
I heard there were people who thought they had 100% of it for nothing.
Okay. Well, there's that, and there's also like the scam of, oh, honey, why don't you love it? Like, if you think John is flirting with you, he is quite married to me, and we're together.
I'm quite married
till
to
the
Dee.
days that we die. So forget it. You're out. You're out, Tom.
You're out,
Not
Tom.
happening.
That was
So
a
you're not-
Godfather. That was from
Yeah,
the Godfather.
You're
You're out, Tom.
When Al Pacino said, "You're out, Tom." So the women, you're out. Okay, we're married forever. Get over it. Also, you're not getting a part of the business. That's not happening either. That's a lie. Get over it. Don't listen to any of it. Really, John is very
You ain't even getting
big.
the business.
No, not even getting a look.
No,
You're
it's
not
so
even getting
weird
a
what
piece of
people
cheese.
do.
You're not getting a piece of candy. Forget it.
Piece of cheese?
Don't listen to it. My point is, it's so absurd. It's just absurd that
Happens every day on every post.
every day, all day. And if it's within the post, like, hey, see me on, another platform, they're just trying to get you to get money.
Trying to get you to go somewhere else so you can click on a link. They'll have your information. They will steal your identity.
They'll steal everything.
And,
Don't do it.
And it's
Don't
bad. And
click.
I get scammed all the
Don't
time too.
click.
Well, it's so hard. They're so good at it. I get things that say, what I use at the store and on Facebook is a thing called Meta, right? Meta is, so what the scammers have done now is that they've duplicated basically the stationery from Meta, and you get something that says, your account is in danger.
I
blah,
get
blah,
that
blah,
every
blah,
day.
blah.
Every day we get that.
So then I've got to send it to people in my world that are much smarter than me and say, hey, Jack, is this real or is this BS? He said, oh, no, that's a scam. Stay away
They're
from
all
it.
scams.
But it's hard. So don't feel stupid if you fall in for it.
A lot have.
Don't feel stupid if you fall in for a scam. I'm talking to myself now. Don't feel stupid if you fall in for a scam because they're good at it. I had almost 1 million people 3-4 years ago on Instagram, and I answered some sort of a thing that said, clean the redundant, I don't know, whatever
Don't
it was. It was
click on
clean your
anything.
Instagram, and I did it, and I lost the whole damn thing.
Don't click on anything.
Yeah. So, but it's so hard. It's so hard.
If you don't know the person, it's a scam. Just assume. And
The
John
general-
definitely doesn't have time to say, hey, why don't you reach out to me? He does not have time for that. I promise you.
The general rule of thumb is that if you reach out to somebody, then it's good. It's okay. So if you send an email to some business or something, and in the email thread or the email chain, you see your initiative email, then it's probably legitimate. Because you know what happens? You say, I really need a sweater for a 3-legged Sheltie. And you text that to somebody, you type that to somebody. You know that later that day you're going to get an advertisement for a store that only sells sweaters for 3-legged Shelties. Like what were we talking?
Not even later in the day.
We met a
5
lovely
minutes.
young girl who works on Win Place or Love. Her name is Priscilla. And we said, oh, Priscilla, like Priscilla Presley. And she said, yeah, Priscilla. And I said, well, Priscilla Presley had it both ways because it's Priscilla Presley. Ha, ha, ha. Then we went and got a cup of coffee. And by the time we got to the coffee pot, we had an advertisement
On her phone about Priscilla Presley.
about Priscilla Presley. I mean, it wasn't 5 minutes. There we go. So, sorry, folks, I didn't get to do this. By the way, how did you like that? How did you like that whole thing where we did the podcast from several different places? Because we had to. It was kind of fun on our end, but let us know how you like that. Let us know what you want us to talk about next time, and let me know personally if you'd like to see a photograph from this upcoming Comic-Con with me and Alec Baldwin.
Anyway, Alec Baldwin and his wife, so we may
They're
mention that.
releasing that damn movie. They're releasing Rust.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a couple people working on this movie that worked on that movie, and they are releasing Rust.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Where he shot a lady dead.
Yep.
I mean, we can't say that he meant to or not. I mean, that's alleged, but he shot her dead. I mean, so that is so controversial and so sad.
Well, what he never did,
very
here's
sad.
the issue. And those of you who've known me for a while, you know I did all those videos. I mean, to ad nauseum, I did these videos about how it should have been and how it wasn't. But the thing for me is when he was talking with George Stephanopoulos,
Yes.
is it George? And George said, well, do you feel any remorse? He said, no, why should I? Wasn't my fault.
Yeah, that's not right.
For crying out loud. You were holding the gun. You pulled the trigger. That's when he said he never pulled the trigger. He backed up on that. I don't want to get too much into
So
this.
how did the
But
bullet
this
come out?
man has gotten
By
away.
magic, the magic bullet?
How did it go in? How did it come out? Who pulled the trigger? We know who pulled the trigger. Okay? So the thing about it for me is that I don't know if he got bad advice, but I'll tell you what, if I'm holding a gun that goes off magically and kills somebody or even wounds somebody, I am going to be apologetic
sorry.
for the rest of my life. If I'm driving a car, I know folks who were driving cars in high school and had accidents where where friends were killed in an accident. They have not stopped feeling remorse for that, and it's been 50-something years. So what kind of a person says, no, I don't feel any remorse. Why should I? It wasn't my fault.
You should feel bad if anybody dies.
My
I mean,
God.
unless they're like animals and terrible
My
people and raiders
God.
and killers.
And they tried to
But
blame
to-
it on the poor little gal who was the armorer, which is just bullshit, just not true. Anyway, what were you saying? Just pisses me
I'm
off.
just saying that you should be sad if anybody dies if they're a good person. I mean, as long as they're not a raper or a killer, you should be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But instead of that, not only did he not take any responsibility at all, he wasn't even like, no.
No remorse.
No.
No, why should I? Well, maybe that's why your reality show tanked so
Yeah.
quickly.
The reality
My
show.
God. Let's talk
not
about puppy
doing
dogs.
well.
I'm sorry. How do we bring... I don't know how I brought it up. I'm sure I did. I did.
You always bring that stuff up. That's okay. People like it. It's just good to have a variety, to have the positive things and the fun stuff and the food and the clothes and the great traveling. And just so you all know, there are really good people in the world because Cunningham Campers, they're fixing our
they're
motorhome.
great.
And
Family
they called
run.
and they said they're pretty much done. We're wanting to be able to hook up the Raptor, but at the same time, we went to Louisville, as you know, and then when we got the Raptor out,
We got the Raptor
It was
back.
like going crazy. Like this doesn't work, or the what was it? It was just
There's a
all
bunch
these
of
electronic things.
a bunch of like the ABS
Because it's
fault light
fancy.
came
It's
on.
a fancy vehicle. You got a lot going on. But it was fun when we pulled in. But when we pulled out, you had
So
all
if
this
you're
stuff.
from the Galt
If
House and
you
you're part of the
are
valet
that
group,
ballet guy, and you,
and
were
you
the
went
Ferris
stump
Bueller
jumping
guy,
with our Raptor,
we think they went maybe when Ferris Bueller, because in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they took the little car and took it on glory rides and
where they
fun
dumped the
joy rides and-
928 into the lake, or was that risky business?
That was
Anyway.
risky business. But anyway, meaning that ballet, if they get a cool car, they might want to like hang out and play with it.
We're
and
not
do
sure
stuff.
what happened. We're not
We're
blaming
not
the
saying
Galt House,
that,
but it's
it
a
could have
brand new
happened.
vehicle, and all of a sudden,
And guess what? When we got it back from the Galt House, it was flipping
it just
out.
it ran fine, but all
It
of a
was
sudden,
flipping out. All these electronic, like fancy.
it wouldn't go into sport mode. It was a bunch of things it wouldn't do because
kept dinging.
something happened, and a lot of times there was a Mercedes for a while. If you so much as went over a speed bump too fast and got one of the front tires off the ground, the roll bar would pop up, and you had to go to the factory to get it reset. So I don't know what happened, but here's the point. This one called Tim Short Ford in Hazard and said, hey, where is a Ford dealership where we can run this here?
No, that's not how it went. Let me share exactly right, because I probably conveyed it to you not clearly.
We have 4 minutes.
Right. So I said, look, the Raptor's freaking out. This is what's going on. John made a video, sent it to him. And he said, well, what Ford dealership is close to you? And he goes, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to send a driver up there, pick it up, bring it back here, and we'll take care of it.
We'll fix it.
So that is so cool. Hazard, Tim Short Ford.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they sent a driver. In fact, we just gave him the keys, and he left us a Ford 150, a gigantic one, like with the back seat. And they took it down, and they're going to fix it. And we're in
Yep.
Lexington. It's like, it's a couple hours away. So they're going to go 2 hours to come get it, 2 hours back. They're going to bring it back. So that's like 8 hours of driving to
Right.
fix the glitch with the Raptor.
Well,
so,
it's probably going to be
Yay.
click in the computer, go, oh, okay, reset.
But it still needs to be fixed. But
But
the
they
point
just
is,
said,
they
we're going to
wanted
come, we're
do
going to
it
come take
themselves.
care of it.
They're
Yeah.
like, you know what? We're not even going to have the Lexington Ford people do it. We'll do it.
Right.
So,
So
thank
the-
you,
the-
Tim Short, for
The moral of that story is thank you, Tim Short. Thank you for your excellence of service. We appreciate that. Because, a lot of times people, once you buy
Once
a
you
car,
buy it,
once you sign that contract, you're
go
like,
to any Ford.
yeah,
good
you're
luck.
like the redheaded stepchild of what? So, but Tim
Well, I
Short,
said, tell you what, we'll
not
just
like
come
that.
and get it,
we'll come
fix it, bring it back, and then Cunningham
And
Campers.
thank you again for my Raptor, my it's
You're
so
welcome,
beautiful,
honey.
it's so wonderful, it's
Everybody
so
loves it. It's really great.
badass, it's
And I'm
badass.
glad you love it. It was meant to be.
I was thinking we weren't going to finish all this, but
Of course.
I have to do my electric suit right after this. We just went to Macy's.
Okay, then there's that.
We just went to Macy's because last time we were in Madison, I worked out. And when you work out with the electric suit, I know this sounds strange, but you have to wet the electric pads down, and you wear this kind of underwear that's kind of like a
Underoos.
yeah. It's kind of like a bicyclist outfit because it comes just above your knee.
Bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. Go ahead.
Oh, and the guy that sings all that it travels with Queen was there too. His name
really
just
good.
ran out
Gosh,
of my
he's
head.
so good.
What a voice!
So good.
Oh my God! But so I had put because the pads are wet and you sweat. Okay.
So John has the undergarments, or like the bikers wear. You put
Right.
them on the back porch, and they blew away to our neighbor's
They're on the
rooftop.
roof. They're on the roof of
They're
our
on
neighbor.
the rooftop of our neighbor in
So
Madison.
I thought, well, how engineered can these things be? So we were here 2 days ago. We had to go back to Madison to get the electric suit because I don't want to not work out, or I don't want to not do the electric suit. We can go to the gym downstairs. But I love my catalyst
So
suit.
guess what? It turned into the
So I
electrocution
put-
suit.
so
which
I
I
put-
was always worried about, that he would get electrocuted, and he did.
Can I finish?
Yes, I'm done.
So I put on, I think they were nylon, or it might have been polyester. Whatever they were, they did not conduct electricity properly. So now I'm realizing that the undergarments of the catalyst suit are highly engineered, because when I put this on and I tried to do my workout, the pad is about, some of the pads are about as big as a cell phone, right? So it disperses the electricity throughout the whole size of, say, the palm of your hand. Well, what happened with this, for some reason, is it took all of that electricity on the 20 pads and put it to
Went
the
to
center,
one.
the center of every pad. No, not just to one. That would have been really bad.
Ow!
So I'm there going,
Ow!
Dee Dee's
Oh
like,
my
what?
God.
What's going on?
He's getting electrocuted with the electrocution
No, it was
suit.
just
I
a
knew
little
it.
shock. No, you weren't right.
Just a little shock.
You were, oh, look, only 3 seconds left. So anyway, we went
He
to Macy's.
survived.
So we went to Macy's this morning, and I got some warm-up stuff that I never ever would have gotten, because they were on sale. They're 40% off, and I never would have gotten them because they are they're manufactured in China. Okay, so I never would have done that, but I did because I want to work out. So I'm hoping that these cotton clothing, I got them in size small because they're supposed to be tight, right? So I'm hoping that these cotton workout attire, warm-ups and all that kind of stuff, will work. So as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to try to do my catalyst suit and work out again, because I feel like it's just going away. It
Oh
goes
yeah,
away.
look at that big muscle. Oh
just
yeah,
goes
it's going
away.
away, all right. Give me a break.
No,
You
it
got
goes
big
away.
old guns, machine guns. And we're going to go back to Madison. Hopefully, Tim, our neighbor, will have it still on his rooftop. We can go get the old
We're
clothes.
over time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're going to have a patio put up there. It's going to be great. By the way,
Happy
we are.
Mother's Day.
We don't.
This Sunday.
We don't sell any of this stuff. But I just. What have we been drinking? It's called the Dose. And I think it's good. So I think that's good. Also, we got a little something for gut health. You know, when you get a little older, you need help digesting stuff. So look online and find stuff that will help you digest. Also, I've been doing this strange thing lately. I've been doing it on the set, and people are like, "Dude, are you okay?"
Squats.
And I heard that if you sit in a squat for 10 minutes or so a day, that it's very good for your knees, your ankles, your circulation, your
Well, you
digestive
asked the
system, and
catchers that.
everything. He said yes. He said absolutely. Yep, he said
And
absolutely.
he was a catcher.
He plays our jockey. Also, Mike Gersey, you were a catcher for
That's
a long
a hard
time.
job.
And you're in the
hard
best
job.
shape of anybody your
He
age
is,
I've
my
ever
God.
seen.
He's in better shape
So,
than we are.
yeah, so there must be something to squatting. Just look up stuff. You know,
And
there's a lot of
happy
things.
Mother's Day this
Don't
Sunday.
be sedentary.
Don't forget Mama.
Don't forget Mama. Don't be sedentary. Do something. Do P90X. Do a catalyst suit. Squat for 10 minutes a day. Do something.
Jazzercise.
Okay? Jazzercise. That she was doing
Dancing.
that. She does that. Anyhow, you all take care. It was wonderful to have drinks with John.
And Dee Dee.
That's us.
Cheers, Mama.
Love you. Happy
Love
Mother's
you.
Day. Sheila, happy Mother's Day.
Love you. Mwah.
Shirley, happy Mother's Day. You all take care. We'll see you down the road. And next week, we're going to talk about something rather than just blah, 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 blah. Be
It's
good.
never blah, blah, blah.
Bye.
Mwah.